All right, welcome to the CDR and Databricks Lunch and Learn. On the screen, you will see two links that I will be pasting in the chat. You can navigate to them to view previous training resources and upcoming training events. Before we get started, I'm just going to quickly go over some administrative announcements. Just so you know, this meeting is being recorded. Please stay muted to minimize interruptions. And this is a lunch and learn, only 30 minutes, so it will not feature a Q&A section. But at the end of the call, we will administer a Zoom survey, so you can ask any questions at the end of the call in the Zoom survey. And of course, all meeting materials will be made available in the CCSQ DNA portal. Just make sure to give us a few days to turn those around. And with that said, I'm going to go ahead and stop screen sharing and hand it over to our speaker for today.
Yeah, Kevin, whenever you're ready.
Maybe Kevin's having audio issues. Kevin, can you hear us?
Hear me now?
Yep.
Yep.
Let's see. So I'm gonna have to drop real quick due to my settings for present.
It looks like Kevin dropped. Sounds like he's having some audio issues, but he will rejoin here shortly. In the meantime, I did post two links for navigating to those training resources in portal. And then also, if you just joined, Oren did post the notebook link, and I'm gonna repost it here in a second. If you're having issues navigating to it or accessing the notebook, drop a comment in the chat and we can adjust those settings.
Okay, sorry about that. I am back. Can you all hear me again?
Yep, we can hear you.
Awesome, thank you. Apologies for the technical difficulties there. All right, so let's get into this lunch and learn. Good afternoon and welcome to our lunch and learn session on Databricks Git Folder Practices. My name is Kevin Hamill and I am a member of the user services team. So I have the honor of leading you through this training today. Quick caveat as we get started here, we will be discussing the CDR Databricks connecting to the CCSQ Enterprise GitHub. So if you do not have access to either of those, especially the CCSQ GitHub, please reach out to your core regarding your GitHub organization. And today we are going to focus on best practices for using Git inside of Databricks itself, not actually any kind of Git commands or just Git. So our learning objectives for today are connecting the CDR Databricks to CCSQ GitHub, creating a Git folder and discussing some best practices for that folder use, and then reviewing the workflow steps that we would need to do to sync that work from our Databricks to our GitHub repository. So you might be in here wondering, why would you want to incorporate GitHubs into Databricks? And let's talk about a couple of those reasons why it's helpful, but also whys. Right, so GitHub allows us to practice version control and backup. So if you're working in Databricks, you need to revert changes, or if you lose your work for whatever reason, GitHub has your back, right? It's storing that most recent work, your up-to-date work, as you commit it, so you can always revert back to previous commits and changes. Databricks is an excellent platform for collaborative development. And so by incorporating GitHub, this allows you cleaner tracking of updates between team members, and it also keeps a record of what each team member has committed to the branch. So that allows you to track changes more accurately before they reach the master branch, right? Helping keep your code base clean. And then it's industry best practices, right? So this will aid you and your team to develop practices that will lead to better product management as well as a better maintainability of your code base. So without further ado, let's dive into the Databricks and GitHub. So in order to utilize Git folders in Databricks, we must first link our GitHub and Databricks accounts together. So this process to link Databricks and GitHub requires a couple steps. So one, you have to create a personal access token, and then you need to link that token in Databricks so that you can connect them together. And we're going to walk through that. We'll fix these images here afterwards. So when it goes up on the portal, you'll be able to see it just fine. But yeah, we're going to do a live demonstration as well. So no worries. All right, so let's log into GitHub with our CMS credentials, and you're going to navigate to the upper right-hand corner of the screen. We'll click on settings, and let's go ahead and head over there now. So, right, we're on our GitHub homepage. Up in the top right-hand corner of the screen, you're going to see an icon. You may have your picture, you may have a initial, you may have some weird thing like I have. Sometimes GitHub creates it for you. Sometimes you create yourself, whatever it might be. So we're going to click on that, your profile, head on down to settings. And inside of settings, we're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom of our page to developer settings. And we see here we have a couple options. We want to click on this personal access tokens and tokens classic. So you'll see here, I already have one created. If you have any tokens that you've created for any other accesses that you might have wanted to utilize, you would see them here as well, but I'm going to go ahead and generate a new token as well. So when you're creating one for the first time, we're going to click on generate new token. And again, we want to use that classic token just for general use. And here, you're just going to name it whatever you want to name it. This is for your understanding. It's just a note so you understand, again, what's this token for. And you set the expiration date or expiration for that token. If your organization has certain expiration requirements, please follow that standard. If you have any questions about that, reach out to your organization or your core as well. So we'll just leave that as 30 days right now. And then you're going to select the scope of the token. So this basically helps determine what this token has access to inside of GitHub. Basically meaning what Databricks will have access to as well. So best practices, you want to have access obviously to the repo so you can see what's going on. You want to have access to workflows potentially if you're utilizing that GitHub action workflows that are going to automate your repo in any way when commits are made or pull requests, things like that. So it's good practice to go ahead and have that ready if you're planning or currently using those. And then you're going to be able to read and write packages from your GitHub in case you have anything there. So the rest of this, if you need it, please check it off. If you don't, you can leave it blank. And then we're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page and generate token. So this is going to create a token. You'll see here, it's just a hash record of a bunch of random letters and numbers. Please, it is vitally important that you do copy this somewhere. So once we navigate away from this page, you will not see it. You'll see just this instance here. You cannot reference this hash record again. You'll have to go through the process of regenerating the token. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and save mine off screen. All right, so we copied it. You want to keep that record available. So one other thing before we navigate over to Databricks is making sure that we are authorized to use this token. So you see here, I've got my organization. and it says authorized. So we'll click that. It will just bring up a new box, ask me to sign in. Quick sign in here. And it's just going to ask for credential authorization. All right, so now we are authorized. So once you're good to go, you'll see that deauthorized. That means you are authorized to use this new token. All right, so we now have our personal access token created. We follow these steps through here. So now we're ready to navigate over to our Databricks. So again, we're going to log into Databricks with our Databricks credentials, and we'll navigate over to the top right corner. So I'm going to open up a new window on Databricks. All right, I've got my profile icon in the upper right-hand corner here. We'll just click it for the drop-down, go to settings. And then down here under user, you'll see linked accounts. So we're going to go to linked accounts, and you can see here again, I've already got a GitHub personal access token created. So I'll just delete this out of here for right now. So you'll see this, if you don't have any of them created already, you'll see it this way. Again, it defaults to link Git account. We're not using that option. We're using personal access token. So you'll see, and you just put in the name of your username on GitHub. So you can find that here, right? You can use your email, or you can use your username. So I'm just going to put in mine. And then where we copied that personal access token, we're going to want to take that and paste it in right here, and then save it. So again, you'll see successfully created. So we have now officially linked our two accounts together. So it's a lot quicker, obviously, on the Databricks side. All you gotta do is go to the settings and copy in that token. But now that we've got everything created, we're able to actually start to utilize the Git folder in our personal or team workspace. So let's talk about some best practices
All right,
before we get
Kevin.
started. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. If you refresh your page, those images will render.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
Yeah, so this is, again, so we already walked through these, but so for anyone referring to this in the future, you have a record there. So yeah, let's talk about best practices inside your personal and team workspace. So, right, your personal workspace should be a location of testing or solo development. And we want to use that methodology for Git folders as well. All right, so in your personal workspace, you can clone any branches of your repository. And if you're going to connect to the main branch or master branch, whatever your primary branch is called, you want to understand that whenever updates are made to that, you will need to manually pull in or fetch those updates to keep that folder current. Right. So if you're doing work and another team member is doing work, and if they commit and merge that work to the master branch, you will need to pull that back in so you have record of it. Especially if there's a collaboration involved. But inside of the folder, you can create branches in Databricks. That way you don't have to navigate back and forth between GitHub and Databricks. You can do it all, do most of it at least from Databricks to at least start and work on your development. And so this will allow you to complete work, perform commits and pushes from inside of Databricks. And then you'll be able to navigate over to GitHub to submit the pull request to merge those features back into the master branch. So yeah, let's talk about creating a Git folder inside of a personal workspace. So again, we're going to navigate over to the top right corner in your workspace. So let's go back here. Sorry, in workspace, and you can do create and Git folder. And so you'll see here, it prompts you for a URL, who the provider is, and what a name is. So that URL is just going to be back here. So whatever repository you're wanting to clone in, and you'll see it automatically understands, or should automatically understand, that you're connecting to GitHub. If not, you can do the drop down and check it if for some reason it doesn't. And then whatever name you want to put here, that's for your record. It has no bearing on the actual repository. All right, so I'm just going to create. That's going to take a couple minutes. And we've cloned in our repository. So you can see here, this is the actual name of the branch. This is the name of our folder. And come back here and you can see it here. So yeah, and then let's say you want to actually create something, right? We're doing some development. You click on that master, the actual name of the branch, you'll see here. So any changes that happen will populate here. And if you need to do any updates, pulls, things like that, it'll show here. It'll actually show you a number of how many pulls it's bringing in. But if we want to test out, we're going to do a test branch. Right, and we can just create, sorry. So then it will just create that test branch. And we are now connected. You see here, connected to the test branch. And we can do our own creation inside of this now. So all pretty simple on how to do, clear cut. I mean, it leads you through it. And if your team does maintain a production code base, right, the team workspace is an ideal location for you to clone a repository as well. So this will allow you to utilize some of the features in Databricks, like jobs or pipelines, to run those code bases. And even if your team doesn't have a need for that at the moment, right? Like let's say you're not using jobs or pipelines currently, it's still a great practice to have production workspace or production repository in a team workspace. So for instance, if you're building out dashboards in Databricks, it's a great practice to have those dashboards linked to a Git folder, so that you do have that source control in case you need to revert any changes or management there. And all users that are part of your team's group would have access to these Git folders that are cloned to the team workspace to help with your collaboration and code base maintainability, and also to lessen the need to manage permissions, right? So you don't have to grant permission to your teammates to access your personal workspace or anything like that. It would all be in the team location and all team members could work on it. One thing that we'll note there is that if you do have something that you reference during your development that is specifically in your personal workspace, right, you want to make sure that those things are copied over to that team workspace as well, or it will break your code. So you can do that either straight copying over the notebook to the team workspace, or incorporating that into your Git branch so that it merges in with the master branch as well. So now that we are ready, we can easily sync up this work within the feature branches from Databricks, right? We'll like we just looked at, and same way creating that creating that feature branch, you're going to click on the Git folder branch beside the Git branch name, sorry, beside the folder you created. You can view those changes, commit the changes, or pull in any updates. So if this is a collaborative effort, you want to pull in those updates to make sure the changes all go together correctly. And then once your development is finished, you will open up that repo inside of GitHub itself to actually complete the pull request, which will then merge all of your development back into your primary or master branch, and that will complete your development. Now, one thing to note again here as well, you will need to manually refresh the team workspace master branch. That doesn't automatically pull in anything. So once a pull request is completed, best practice is to have a team member pull in that update to the team workspace. Okay, so that wraps up this quick journey on how to create or how to connect Databricks and GitHub together. So we now know how to set up the access between Databricks and GitHub. We've cloned a repository as a folder. We've created a branch to do your development work, and then you can sync that work back through GitHub to the master branch. And with that, I hope you feel empowered to connect your repository to Databricks. And it's been my pleasure to lead this Lunch and Learn today.
Great, thank you, Kevin. All right, before everyone drops, I'm going to go ahead and administer this survey. You all have probably seen it before. I know today's session was a lot shorter, so if you do have any questions for Kevin that you want to ask him about today's session, feel free to put that question in the survey. You can also take this chance to give us feedback about how the training sessions have been going for you, and your conversions and use of Databricks and more. And as always, just let us know how we're doing so you can continue improving. Once you're done taking that survey, you're more than welcome to drop. And just a heads up, you will see that next week, next week we will not be having a training session, and that's because we will be approaching PI planning from our end. So for that reason, there will be a gap between training sessions. And once those start back up, you will be getting notified and getting those invitations back on your calendar. But with that said, thank you all for joining today. As always, once you're done with the survey, you're more than welcome to drop.